Viz on Twitter. And that goes for our thousands of friends watching online too.
Now when you tweet, include hashtag IV19, it's a bit more complicated this year, and the contestant's name. So for contestant 1, tweet hashtag IV19 Joshua. For contestant 2, hashtag IV19 Lindsay, with an E, not an A. And for Hisham, it's hashtag IV19 Hisham. And now for the terms and conditions for the scoring. We'll count the tweets until the minutes or so after our judges' questions at the end. The 10 judges' Twitter votes are divided among the contestants based on the percentage of total Twitter votes each receives. For example, if a contestant receives 20% of all the Twitter votes, then they receive 2 points. If they receive 30% of all the Twitter votes, they receive 3 points.
Or you could just look in the app. Now, vote wisely, since you can only vote once. Now, your votes will be combined with the judges' scores to determine the next Iron Viz champion. Now, here's one more piece. It's critical. The data set. I mean, we can't really do Iron Viz without it. Now, the theme of which our contestants will base their masterful creations on, and today, they'll be using the, well, not quite so secret anymore, really, but the data set is food data!
It's raining tacos, right out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes.
I think we have to stop. Right. Okay. Thanks to our data providers, Pitney Bowes, we have a delicious selection from their World Points of Interest and Demographics data. This succulent data set features hundreds of food-related categories from restaurants and food stalls in 13 countries, from Thai restaurants to pizzerias, from farmers markets to supermarkets, from pastries to pot roasts. And if they so desire, they could bring in a secondary data source, also from Pitney Bowes, the NEI-based demographics, and blend it all together using Tableau Builder.
Will our visitors specialize in one artisanal data set, or will they use everything in the data pantry? Will they scour the world for the perfect French fry, or go hyper-local and hunt the elusive vegetable in Vegas?
We'll find out soon, and they're going to use their unique data source to build the best possible viz live in 20 minutes. Now, Keisha, think about the possibilities with this data set. I want to see pie charts, and waffle charts, and donut charts.
You know, I love a good donut. Yeah, it is. Okay. We actually have an extension in the gallery that can do some donut charts.
Cool, go check it out. All right, who's ready to get this started? Let's count down from 5. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's raining tacos, right out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your
Okay, well, let's meet and greet our Sue visitors. Now, for those of you that are new to Tableau Iron Viz, our Sue visitors are hand-picked Tableau product experts that have been paired with each contestant in the run-up to today. They've been helping our visitors prep today's data.
Let's visit first with Lauren DeBay. They're already looking at it in the crowd. Right. But Lauren, tell us, what culinary wizardry, or should I say wizardry,
Oh boy.
are we going to be seeing from healthcare expert Joshua today?
Yes, well, healthcare expert Joshua is going to be building a biz from his heart, naturally. Food data is wonderful because we all eat food all the time. Food is part of our culture and it brings people together. And Josh found a story in this data that is very personal to him and that he's going to tell with his dashboard. But that dashboard will also allow you to explore the data and tell your own very personal story with food.
Great, thanks Lauren. Next, let's check in with Mark Bradborn. Mark, are you excited to be a Tableau Sue visitor today?
Just a little bit.
A whole lot. He's so excited.
Now, you're in pretty good company here with Lindsay, a fellow Tableau junkie. But tell us, how will Lindsay slice, dice, and crunch your data?
So today you're going to watch Lindsay do what she does best. A business-style dashboard that lets the data truly shine in this project. I can't wait to hear the crowd's reaction when her biz is done. going to be amazing.
All right, great stuff, Mark. Finally, let's hear from Ivan Coelho. Now, Ivan, he is on Rookie in the Stadium, Tableau for less than a year, right?
That's true, that's true.
So, how's that going to come into play as he tackles the data set?
Well, even though he's only been using Tableau for less than a year, he's actually already a master at drag and dropping. But the one thing I do admire the most in him is actually his eye for design and making things that are concise yet strong, but also his ability of finding the human side of the data. And that's what we're going to be seeing today. We're going to end up with something that's really, really impressive.
So cool. Thanks, Ivan. Now, while we wait for things to marinate, it's time to check back in with you.
All right, yeah, let's go to our field reporter, Taha Ibrahimi, Director of Tableau Public and Community. Taha, welcome to Viz Stadium. What's it looking like down on the floor?
Thank you so much, Andy. I'm down here on the floor and the energy is intense. With me, I have Wendy Mu, a student from the University of Southern California. Welcome, Wendy. I understand that you got a peek at the data set before the show, and I'm curious, was there anything particularly interesting that you noticed?
Well, I think the data is really challenging. I mean, it's so big, it has so many variables. I don't know how we're going to deal with that.
Thank you so much, Wendy. It'll be really interesting to see how our contestants will approach this. Next up, we have David Perez, a past European Iron Viz champion, also the head of data visualization at Expedia Group based in London. David, welcome back. Given that you know what it's like to be up there on stage, could you share with the audience a little bit about what we should be looking for right now and what you're looking for specifically?
Thank you, it's great to be back. And one of the interesting things to see is how they are using techniques to accelerate their process, like bringing in color palettes straight on at the beginning to save time later on. And it was really good to see some of the techniques to use make point, which is a new feature that came out recently. So that's really good to see that they are incorporating in their visualizations new features that came out 2 months ago.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, David. Back to you, Andy and Keisha.
Great. Thanks, Taha and guests, for that delightful food for thought.
You can savor that one up, right?
All right, a little bit, okay?
Let's just progress quickly and go and see how things are looking on the screen and get some early thoughts from the judges. Ellie, good evening.
Andy, hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good, it's great to see you. What do you want to see tonight emerging in terms of great communication?
In terms of great communication, I think all of the contestants have shown through the feeder competitions that they can communicate well with data, and what I'm really looking for is seeing what kind of story they want to bring out, and whether that story is a narrow one or one that's kind of broadly.
Thank you, Ellie.
Great. Now let's move on to Jock. Jock, you are an expert in the cognitive science of data visualization. How do you expect our contestants to use those rules for storytelling success?
So we got to interview them yesterday and look at their prep flows and also the cut and paste. It's been fabulous. We actually asked them all about their use of color, and that's one of those areas where the cognitive science and just the psychophysics is actually very important. And so we haven't seen them do the build, and so we're going to be paying attention to that absolutely.
Right. Thanks, Jock. And Chantilly, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you, Andy?
I'm doing all right. I'm having a good time. Now, you know something about designing dashboards. So what's the secret sauce for success?
Being able to convey and tell a story to basic or new users in Tableau. So I really think that's what I'm looking for in the contestants, being able to being able to tell a conveying story to any type of user. I always like to say, if my grandmother can understand it, then it's a good dashboard.
Can she be a judge next year?
If she wouldn't mind.
Team, let's get to Chantilly's grandmother.
Thank you, Chantilly. Now let's end with Timothy. Timothy, a bittersweet moment for you. You're about to cede your crown to our next Iron Viz champion. Can you tell us what's the most important thing to get done in those first 5 to 10 minutes of the build?
Well, yeah, it looks like the three contestants are doing well with that. They are laying the foundations to what they're going to build to convey us that story. And I'm seeing on the screens here that they all have their own styles and techniques for doing that. which are very different from what I think I did last year. So it's interesting to see how people tackle these situations differently. It's going really fast. It's looking pretty good already. So yeah, it's looking good.
All right. Sage advice there, friends. Somebody got it. Sage. Like the herb you cook with. Oh, sorry, the herb you cook with. What kind of like food for thought was comedy gold, Keisha?
Yeah. Well, clearly the competition is heating up here today. That means it's time to go back to our soup visitors for another inside scoop. All right. Ivan, let's start with you. We know that Hisham loves the great outdoors. Tell us about his continuous green fields and discreet blue skies.
Thank you. So yeah, he likes the outdoors and he also likes traveling. So he saw geographical data, he's building up maps. But not just any map. It actually has a map on top of a map on top of a map on top of a map. That's another level geography. He's also using Make Line, which is one of the features we released earlier this year that allows to easily make connections between different countries that are in the same row as latitude and longitudes. So yeah, they still have a lot of time to go, but something exciting is going to happen.
Great stuff. Thank you, Ivan. Mark, how about it? Can you lay out the parameters of Lindsay's storytelling?
So Lindsay's really starting to focus on brands and where they exist in the continental US. So you're going to start to see that story develop and bake, if you will.
I love it.
Spectacular. Thanks, Mark. Lauren, can you explain what former folklorist Joshua is working on? Are his legends legendary?
His legends are legendary, and Joshua's folklore background actually gave him a great advantage in this competition for reading the right books to be able to talk about this data in a way that made sense to him and to his story.
All right. Well, thank you, Soup Visitors, one and all. You're all making a very strong case. And it looks like in this food data challenge, all our contenders have discerning palates. Get it? Palate, mouth. They don't get any better than this, by the way. Right? This is as far as we can go.
Okay, well, on that note, I think it's time for another reminder about voting. So, remember, our judges are going to score each viz against 3 criteria: design, analysis, and storytelling. And since each of those criteria are of equal importance, each one is going to be weighted the same. So that means 30 points per category for a total of 90 possible points per contestant.
And don't forget that you can vote too. Tweet your favorite viz, and remember, it's #IV19 and your contestants' names. Vote only once. Let's make some noise for them now. Tweet #IV19 for Lindsay with an E, or #IV19 for Isha. There's a rowdy crowd from the UK, I believe, here, right? That's crazy. We'll be counting the votes until a minute or so after the judges' questions at the end.
Right? Well, at that point, let's go back to Taha on the floor. Taha, how's it going on down there?
Oh, Keisha, this audience is hungry to see the results of these beautiful quizzes. But first, I have a very special guest with me, Colin Madison, Senior Solutions Consultant at Pitney Bowes Data Line of Business. Colin, thank you so much for being with us and providing this amazing data. Now, I'm really curious to know, now that you've seen these vizzes, what do you think about what the contestants are doing with what you provided?
Well, first off, let me thank you for making this data really come to life and for whetting all of our appetites. What I've really noticed is there's 2 things that are really standing out. One is how you've used brand distribution. So each contestant's kind of looking at the data and seeing different portions of that data really speak to them. So that brand data is being used in one way. It's like we've got some really interesting visualizations from the mapping perspective. So using that universal language of geography to tell a story to this global audience. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Colin. Again, thanks for that amazing data set. And now moving to Fee Gordon, all the way from Sydney, Australia. Fee is the Senior Director at JLL for BI Strategy. Fee, looking up here, what's exciting for you? And tell us, what are you seeing?
What's really exciting to me is I've seen some tips and tricks that I had no idea was possible with Tableau. So the first one was with Lindsay, and just copying and pasting those formulas across them straight in. really nice, easy thing to do. It's so simple along the way. It's a great use there. The other thing that I really like with Lindsay's is the use of colour. She's starting to push out into the background some of the other line graphs I think of the competitors and looking at Subway and really bringing it to the front with the red there. And I think that looks really nice. It pops it straight out. So it'll be interesting to see what the kids do.
Thank you so much, Fee. Really interesting. Back to you, Andy and Keisha.
All right, thank you, Taha. So we've got about 7.5 minutes left to go. Should we take a look at what's happening on the screens? Sue visits. Who wants to tell us something about what's happening right now? Lauren is straight in. What have you got for us, Lauren?
I do. Well, Joshua is almost done with his first dashboard, as in he's going to build a second dashboard in the time it takes him to build one. They interact. Just wait for it. Here it goes. Dashboard 2 on the way.
Nice. Anybody else building 3 dashboards? Well, Isha was doing 5 maps on top of maps.
We have 3 maps. Maps.
What are you doing for duplication?
So right now, we're not doing any duplication.
Very efficient.
Everything is as it needs to be, pixel perfect. But what Lindsay's doing is prepping a customized drop-down to add some really slick interactivity using parameter actions and the show hide toggle. So it's going to be really sharp.
So that's one of the new features in the last year of Tableau, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have anything from new Tableau features?
Yes, not yet, but I'll save it.
Oh,
yeah, it's coming.
Jeez. How about you, Ivan?
Well, parameter actions, as expected, probably the coolest feature that we released in the last couple of releases, apart from stat actions. Also, Hisham is going to use grid lines to pixel perfect his dashboard, something I wish more people would do.
I like it. Now, before the contest, I've noticed that Lindsay was tweeting about tiled or floating dashboards. Which way did she decide to go, tile or floating?
We are team floating for this competition.
Who else is team floating? Team floating.
Who has no idea what we're talking about? Probably a lot of you. Who's team tile?
Team tile?
That's a good data point, everybody. I just think that's quite interesting. All right, teachers, maybe we'll come to you guys for some thoughts and inputs. Does anybody have anything they want to maybe ask the Sue visitors at this moment?
I have something.
You have something, Ellie? Good.
Yeah, a couple of the contestants had submitted or won their contest with long form. And this is more kind of a dashboard form. So how are they going to adapt to that? And that was Hisham and Joshua.
Lauren?
We have a long form dashboard, for our entry, for Josh's entry. And we talked about that a lot, but we wanted something that was just how on the screen all at once and you didn't have to scroll. And it's only 20 minutes.
Satisfied, Ellie?
Love to hear
Just information.
Yeah. How about Ivan? What do you think?
No, that's true. It's a fair enough question. It is a transition in philosophy and the design you're going to pick. But actually, at the end of the day, when you boil it down, bringing a story in together and using the same sort of ideas of aesthetic and design and sort of the human side of data, they can be easily translated if you boil it down to that moment from long form to actually 20-minute fast build.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Timothy, I believe you had a question or a comment.
A comment indeed, yes, thank you, Andy. I'm looking at the screens and I'm seeing Joshua's screen in particular goes from a light dashboard back to a dark dashboard and then back to light and dark. I like the contrast of that. It's interesting to use that technique. Just in general, the comment is, how do you feel about dark dashboards? Should I be making dark dashboards for this specific story I'm trying to convey? And I see that the participants have different approaches, and that's really piquing my interest. Actually.
What do you think, dark or light?
It depends.
It depends. Yes. Thank you, Timothy. That's the best phrase. All right. If any of you are enjoying what you're seeing and want to go and see the winning qualifiers that these guys built to get onto the stage, then make sure you go to the Viz Gallery, which is on the second floor foyer, I believe. Maybe. I think it's is it? Anybody know? Yes? Yes, these guys know. They've been. We have created a whole gallery of incredible visualizations from Tableau Public, so be sure to go and check it out because it's amazing what these three have built and also what many hundreds of thousands of people build around the world. If you go, don't forget you can sign up for Viz of the Day and get in your inbox an amazing visualization from Tableau Public every single day. So make sure you do that.
You know, they might even get...
Oh, Mark, hang on.
Yes.
I teased it a little bit earlier, but I just wanted to make sure everybody saw Lindsay's about to add that toggle and the customized button. So
here it goes.
Watch the magic happen.
There we go. Setting it up. It's thrilling.
It is. Pressure. Yeah, that does. Yeah. Oh, and we've got buttons here. What's going on in Joshua's? He's moved away from it. All right. What are you thinking, Keisha? What do you think of what you're seeing?
I mean, it's amazing. There are some common themes, that idea between light and dark. It's interesting how they're using color on all of these dashboards. I keep looking at the one that Hisham was working on with those floating bubbles. Curious to see what that's about later.
Yeah, indeed. And are they using any of the features you have built?
Ooh, interesting. You know, we focused on webhooks and extensions today. I don't think I have enough time for 20 minutes to do all of that.
All right. Okay, well, that's good. All right. Judges, do you have any more comments or questions?
I have a comment. So
Yeah.
What we often see here at Iron Viz is some of the contestants essentially build experiences that draw you in and allow you as a person to explore the data yourself. And sometimes we see, and this is for the audience who you're judging, sometimes we see people telling actual stories of one type or another. They're both completely valid. They use exactly the same techniques, and so you can judge how well each is being done. That's what I have to do as well.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Last chance for any comments from the Sufisers. Is there any last? How do you think your contestants are doing? Are they in control?
Doing great.
Yeah? Oh, happy, Ivan?
Very
All right.
in control.
We, I believe, are into the last minute. Can you believe how quickly that goes?
That was so fun.
I know. How should we fill the last minute? Shall I carry on with the Barry Manilow?
Please, no. No. You know, we don't want to see that. No one wants to hear that, right? You?
Yes.
I see you.
Karaoke later on tonight. Sure. Yeah.
There we go.
All right.